25 years of my radio career, and here's another interesting radio story which dates back to 2007. I was working for a radio station called Fever 104, which is a part of Hindustan Times, and they used to do something called HT Summit. Now, they had invited Shah Rukh Khan in that particular year, and I was doing the breakfast show. So, suddenly my boss called up and said, "Listen, you have to go and interview Shah Rukh Khan." I was like, "Okay, I will." And I remember I reached the hotel in time. The HT Summit was going on. It was very interesting. Shah Rukh Khan and Karan Johar, they were talking about the role of the Indian film industry in contribution to the economy of the country. Very interesting topic and all that. And people were asking interesting questions. And on that particular day, some Indian had won some international award. I don't really remember the details, but he was making quite a lot of headlines. So in the crowd, there was one cheeky journalist. I still remember her name, very, very famous. I'm not going to name her. She stood up and she asked a little bitter question. She was like, "Shah Rukh, you guys are going on and on about the Indian film industry and all that. You've not even mentioned this Indian who has made India proud and Dingna and Falana." And Shah Rukh was like, "Yeah, I know about this person, but we're not really talking about, that. We're talking about the Indian film industry." And he was very reasonable in his answer. But he said, "Yeah, I know all the details, and this is the person who has won the award." And he even, plugged Hindustan Times. He was like, "I read my Hindustan Times every day." And he made a joke about it. Everyone laughed, everything was okay. But he was not, he was very, very upset about this question. We were waiting in the wings. And after the HT Summit got over, suddenly Shah Rukh Khan storms in, okay? He's like really, really upset. And I'm like, oh my goodness, he's in a bad mood and I have to interview him in this mood. In fact, he went on to say that, "I don't really understand why journalists ask these irrelevant questions. What was the point of that question and everything?" And I was like shaking in my boots. I still remember. Anyway, I go into this room. Shah Rukh Khan is sitting very grumpy. And I'm like, "Hey, welcome to Delhi." And he was like, "Delhi is my city. You don't have to welcome me here." I was like, "Nahi yaar, aise nahi ho sakta." My first Shah Rukh Khan interview, it cannot really go like this. So I still remember in that particular year, My Name is Khan was also announced and nobody knew what the film would be about. So I was like, "Is it a biopic? Is it a film based on your life? My Name is Khan." He's like, "No, it's based on Amir Khan's life." So, and he was like, almost this curt through the interview. Finally, he gave me like a good interview, I remember. But I remember the next time when I met Shah Rukh Khan in Dubai, that was also for another movie and he did something really, really special that made me very, very happy. What was it? मैं आपको बताऊंगा अगली radio story में. Only if you tell me that I should share all these radio stories or not. If you want me to share all these radio stories, just drop a comment saying yes or a heart or something and let me know about it. Radio Stories with Lokesh right here on TikTok. Follow me.